Amy challenges Joel over his offensive opinions. Vicki Fowler and Ross Marshall face fresh difficulties at home, this time involving Ross's teenage son Joel in EastEnders. Vicki and her partner Ross are horrified when Amy Mitchell reveals the insulting remarks Joel made to her and Lily Slater at Bridge Street Cafe. Things escalate further when Joel launches into another furious tirade, influenced by the video rants of his idol, online men's rights influencer Drake Zagan. Vicki and Ross have already tried a strict approach, hoping to make Joel understand the harm caused by his behavior and disrespect towards women. But so far, their efforts have had no effect. When they attempt to discipline him again, tensions explode. Meanwhile, Yolande Truman grows anxious about her fiancé Patrick following the turmoil caused by Oscar Branning's admission to the robbery and assault. Yolande is devastated when Patrick tells her he wants to delay their wedding. Elsewhere, Julie Hay shocks her husband Nigel by bringing his cherished car down from Scotland to Walford. And panic sets in for Harry Mitchell after he hides the gun, only to realize later that it has vanished. Who has taken the weapon? Will Oscar end up arrested? Oscar Branning may be heading for serious consequences after admitting to his part in the robbery and assault on Patrick Truman in EastEnders. Patrick's loved ones are pushing him to go to the police. But since Oscar has only recently been released from a young offenders institution, another charge could land him straight back in prison. His sister Lauren, however, is determined to keep him out of jail. She pressures Howie Danes to help cover for Oscar. If he refuses, Lauren threatens to expose Howie's attempt to blackmail her and Oscar over the missing cash from Patrick. Can Howie convince Patrick to drop the matter? Or is Oscar destined for another stint behind bars? Kat's summer surprise. Kat Slater is thrilled to organise a summer barbecue party at the Queen Vic. As the new landlady, she rallies the Slater clan to get involved. But Alfie and Stacey are distracted with a secret they're desperate to keep hidden. They're both working hard to stop Kat from finding out the truth about her estranged daughter. However, when Kat clashes with her teenage son Tommy in a heated argument, could the shocking secret finally come to light? Gina's growing frustration. Gina Knight's patience with her new boyfriend Harry Mitchell is wearing thin. Harry is far too wrapped up in his shady dealings with Ravi Gulati and Tobias Oki Okire to pay her much attention. Things escalate when Oki demands that Harry dispose of a dangerous weapon, a gun. Is Kat about to learn the truth about Zoe? Remember when Alfie Moon left a drunken voicemail for his wife Kat regarding her estranged daughter Zoe in EastEnders? Now, their teenage son Tommy has stumbled across the message on Kat's misplaced phone. Kat is still unaware of Alfie and Stacey Slater's recent contact with Zoe. Meanwhile, both Kat and Alfie are growing concerned about Joel Marshall's increasing influence on Tommy. But when Alfie attempts to confront his son, Tommy demands answers about Alfie's drunken message regarding Zoe. Will Alfie and Stacey be able to stop Tommy from revealing the truth to Kat? Patrick Truman's shocking revelation. Patrick Truman is blindsided by a devastating shock when his new acquaintance Oscar Branning comes clean with the full details of the robbery and violent assault. The confession hits Patrick hard, leaving him overwhelmed with emotion and triggering a severe panic attack. The intensity of the revelation leaves him struggling to regain control, his mind racing with the implications of what he has just learned. The Truman Fox family quickly rushes to his side, their concern and alarm evident as they try to support him through the ordeal. Patrick's son, Anthony, is furious and insists that Oscar must face the full consequences of his actions, demanding that the authorities be informed without delay. Meanwhile, tension builds elsewhere as Lauren Branning comes under intense scrutiny. Her partner, Peter, pieces together the truth and realizes that she's been covering for her younger brother, Oscar, raising questions about loyalty, responsibility, and the potential fallout for the entire family. Harry Mitchell, under pressure. Harry Mitchell is under intense pressure, his nerves fraying as the consequences of recent events weigh heavily on him. He is gripped by fear that George Knight could soon uncover the full truth about the suspicious goings-on in his brother Kojo's flat, leaving Harry vulnerable to serious repercussions. To make matters worse, his anxiety spikes when Ravi Gulati discovers that Harry has secretly paid teenage Joel to help erase crucial evidence linked to the stolen phones. The revelation threatens to unravel everything Harry has been trying to keep hidden, leaving him caught in a dangerous web of deception and fear of exposure. Huge EastEnders return as shocking confession rocks the square. Next week on EastEnders, Oscar Branning admits to attacking Patrick Truman, and his admission lands him straight at the police station. Having grown unexpectedly close to Patrick in the weeks following the assault, Oscar's conscience finally catches up with him when Patrick's son, Anthony, discovers the truth and is horrified by what happened to his father. Oscar isn't inherently violent, but he feels awful about what he did to Patrick, an insider reveals. However, rather than bringing the closure he hoped for, his confession pushes Patrick into crisis. He suffers a panic attack, and when the Fox Trumans arrive to support him, they're furious with Oscar. The fallout from Oscar's shocking confession doesn't end there. The Brannings are plunged into turmoil as Peter starts to piece together the truth, realizing that Lauren has been secretly shielding her younger brother from the consequences of his actions. This revelation sparks a wave of awkward and tense questions, leaving the family scrambling to navigate the difficult situation. Meanwhile, Anthony is adamant that Oscar must face justice for the assault on his father, refusing to let the incident slide. However, Jack intervenes with a sobering reminder. The decision ultimately rests with Patrick, and only he can choose whether to involve the authorities. The question now hangs heavy over the family. Will Patrick summon the courage to report Oscar, or will he find another way to handle the situation? At the same time, Oscar is consumed by anxiety as he waits at the police station, every passing minute amplifying his fear of a return to prison. What he doesn't realize is that his sister Lauren is wielding a dangerous bargaining tool against Howie. She pressures him to convince Patrick to drop the charges, warning that if he fails, she will expose the explosive truth, that Howie is in possession of Patrick's stolen cash, a revelation that could shatter the Truman family entirely. An insider adds, Howie took Patrick's money from Lauren to resolve financial issues for himself and Kim. If the Trumans discovered this, it would destroy him completely. Despite Howie's desperate attempts to sway Patrick, Anthony's vigilant protection of his father's interests continually undermines his efforts. Howie now faces an impossible choice: protect his secret at all costs, or watch Oscar potentially face a second stint behind bars. As Patrick grapples with the emotional fallout of Oscar's confession, Yolande watches her fiancé with growing worry, fearing the lasting impact on his mental well-being. Her anxiety turns to shock when Patrick suddenly announces he wants to postpone their long-awaited wedding, leaving her questioning whether their relationship can withstand the pressure of recent events. With Patrick traumatized and the family in turmoil, fans are left on tenterhooks. Will the wedding still go ahead, or will tragedy and betrayal change everything? And as Oscar awaits his fate, is a prison cell already his inevitable future? EastEnders airs Mondays to Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One, with episodes also available on BBC iPlayer from 6 a.m, giving viewers an early glimpse at the drama before the TV broadcast.